Too high. Welcome to another solo episode of Villain Garage. Vacant seat. Little couples therapy, but solo today. Like we said in the last one, her work week starts, and today is a 60-degree day, so I'm going to be out here working. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shove all my normal work to this evening, which I normally do. I let all the problems stack up during the day and work at night. So, start off, I grabbed that little new cool knotted wire wheel on a grinder, and it is absolutely amazing. Yeah, you can see there, like, I'm working on it, and it's working pretty good. I do figure out later a little bit better way of using it. Then next, I realized that doing it with the door on the car is stupid. I'm going to pull the door, and I mess up. So, hopefully, I didn't screw up that little stupid piece. That thing's now stuck way out, and I have no clue how to get it back in. I'll probably, when everything's done with the door, I'll flip the door, I'll pull that mechanism out, and I'll check it, see how it works, see if I boogered it up. Hopefully I didn't, because obviously the doors will not, they'll go back on the car for fitment, and then they'll come back off for paint, because, well, for part of the paint, because the door and the jamb will be painted separate, and then the door will go back on to paint the rest of the car. But that's a ways away, obviously. With the door off, it was just knock more paint down and see about that Bondo spot down at the bottom corner and go from there and see how bad it is. You'll notice in that section, like I went from a flat style to tilting it up, and I found out that you just tilt that up, let gravity take over and the weight of the grinder, and just kind of move, and it'll literally peel one layer after another, and by the time you make your little slow pass, it's all gone, everything, because you'll see me like take a DA to it and take a bunch of other stuff to it, and that's because that's the sealer that just would not come up earlier. And I found out, like, if I tilt it, the sealer, everything comes off all at once. And then, well, then we overheat the tool. It was starting to get hot, so I put it down, grabbed the DA, 40 gritted the top half of the door, top 3/4 of the door. The reason I did that's simple. I know that there's rust induced through this whole car. So the idea is I want to get every little bit of oxidation, every pore, everything out. Again, I don't want to build this car and a couple years down the road start having issues from it. So that's why I'm taking all this time, and it's really not any more time. Like, I'm waiting for the tool to cool down. I can't go do anything else. I need that tool. I may actually end up going and buying another one so that I can hit switch it. Like, when one starts to get warm, I'll pick up the other and start. You're talking $25 for that whole tool. It was $20 for the grinder, $5 for the wheel. Big deal. So, for all those out there that make fun of me that I wear eye protection, ear protection, gloves, everything when running one of these wire wheels, it's because of this. And that's why I wear this crappy generic junk hoodie too. See, shirt underneath is perfectly fine. I learned a long time ago with a grinder. A grinder would have actually probably been worse, but these wheels will catch up into your clothing. I was working right down here, And you got to really get up in there, and because of this lip right here, it caught the edge of it, bounced it out. When it bounced it out, you got 11,000 RPMs. You got a lot of force moving that thing around when it wants to move. It caught, it bounced out, and ate into my hoodie. These are just $10 hoodies at Walmart. That's why I buy them. They're junk hoodies. And this one is junk. The reason I will throw this one away and get another one now is because this saved my stomach. Without this being here now, and with a good portion of it being torn up, it could easily get through to my shirt, cut up my shirt, and cut up my belly. So, yeah. So, interesting thing was the door. So you can see all those pinholes, and what that's for is this. It's called a slide hammer. You just screw it into that spot and you slam it back, and, well, you'll be doing it this way, I guess. And as you're slamming it up, it's pulling that metal up. So whoever did that right. But you're supposed to, like, weld those holes closed, not body fill them. So that's where the water came through and induced rust into the panel. I'm making that assumption, but that's what it looks like. That's why there's rust. There was rusty kind of area all up underneath that edge of that Bondo. The rust was literally forming underneath the Bondo. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but I don't even know if I recorded it, but as I'm knocking that Bondo down and getting it out of the way, that's when I start discovering the rust and the issues, and it all came off, so it's not a problem. But I will go back through and I'll fill those in and grind them smooth. But whoever did that did a really wonderful job. Like, I thought it was kind of worse than it was, but once I got everything back and noticed how much of a repair was done there, it's totally, like, I'm not even going to mess with it. It's all within my spec of what I will be willing to body fill. So, these little shorter episodes, I guess, gives me time to kind of go over some of the stuff that you're not seeing behind the scenes, which that is acquiring tools. Like right now, we're getting all our ducks in order to get a welder and everything else, and figuring out how we want to approach all the little bits of situations. So, I'm going to go to the exact same gas supplier that, you know, back when my brother had a machine shop out here, or even back when we were building cars and building buggy chassis and everything else. We went there, and it's Air Gas. That's really the only supplier we have around here, but they're really great. And I went in there, and I'm brutally honest, and I went in there and said, look, I don't quite know what I'm doing. I've done MIG work, stuff like that. I played with the TIG, but we're going to have a TIG full time. And I'm starting from scratch. I have no tank. I have nothing. And the guy's like, well, cool. That's fine. Let me educate you. He didn't say that, like because that could actually come off wrong. But no, he like showed me everything from the consumables to everything that they had, which I knew I'd be getting my consumables from them. Consumables being electrodes, filler rod, stuff like that. I knew I'd be getting that from them because Harbor Freight really doesn't have a solution for that. And what's already on the market is good and good priced. You're talking, I can go there and buy a small package of electrodes to see what I like. Well, I've already been told, and the gentleman there even told me the same thing, that the purple E3 is great for steel, which is what we're doing on this. He said they last a long time, they work great, and they're half the price of the normal, old school, I guess you could call it, electrodes. So I'll be doing that. But while we're sitting there talking, we talk tanks. We know what size tank. We know what the gas is going to cost, blah, 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 blah. He said, you got options, though. Go out and buy a tank. $300 or whatever used on Craigslist, $500 or whatever brand new, right? He said, or you can just lease it from us. I said, okay, what's the pros and cons on it? Like, be straight up. And the gentleman was. He's like, in the long run, say 10 years from now, you're going to pay more. Which, of course you will. So it's roughly about $5 a month. Woohoo! You pay for gas. Duh. But the cool thing is, like he explained to me, so say I go to do stainless exhaust or something, which I doubt this thing will have stainless exhaust, but let's just say. and I could use another tank to do back purging. I think it's stainless steel back purging if I remember right. I could come down, rent another tank with whatever gas in it I want. So say even if I want to do some MIG work and I needed some, what is that, O25 or what do they call it, the 75-25? Not O25, it'd be CO2. I don't know. It's like 25% CO2, 75% argon. But he said, say you need some of that. He said, you don't need to come bring your tank in. He said, you can come down, rent another tank, small one, because you only need it for the weekend. And he's like, and I can have what I need. And I can use it for the weekend. And then bring it back. I pay for gas. And literally, the tank rental for the second tank is stupidly cheap. Like, it's dumb how cheap it is. Now, if you kept it all month, yeah, you pay more than if you leased again. But the thing is it's a weekend thing or a week thing or whatever. It's totally stupidly cheap. Like, it is totally geared to what I would say a hobbyist more than it is an industrial place. Like, I'm sure they give better discounts or whatever to the industrial places, but it's really cool to see them set up a program that would help someone like me, or someone like us, the project car people. It's great. So, and he even said I can take the tanks to Neosho, to Casey's Road and Race down there in Neosho. They do air gas tanks. I can take it to them. They'll exchange it out, no problem. Now, I do have to pay their gas fee, which is more expensive than air gas's gas fee. But knowing me, I come to Joplin well enough that if I had to wait 2 or 3 days to start welding again, I could take it to Joplin, get my tank, whatever. And I also, gentleman there, gave me a cool calendar. This is the first thing that we're getting to hang in the shop that is given to us by a supplier or whatever. And they offered me a one with cars and stuff on it, but I like this one better. Let me just grab one here. See, it's like all different kinds of drawings and stuff, mainly about safety, but it's like kids' drawings. I thought that was kind of cool, so we're going to hang that like right as you walk in the door. And eventually this old paintball banners and stuff will come down, because that was back in the days of a million years ago in G3 paintball. I'm sure none of y'all know what that is. Like, you got to be my age and above to really know what G3 was. This company was shut down a long time ago, and everything was sold off. But I think made good progress today. Sun's down. The last cool day we've had is done. I haven't burned up a tool, and I got a lot done. So I'm not going to complain. I'm going to go in and try to re-sew this hoodie back together, I guess, because I'm not going to bother throwing it away. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was really fun. I'm discovering and just experimenting with new tools and trying not to kill myself or gut myself. Subscribe for more, because obviously this is going to continue till it's done, and then who knows what from there. It'll be actually enjoying the car, and then probably modifying it more, and then breaking it, and then modifying it more, and then modifying it more, and then breaking it. And then...
Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school.